What legendary Reddit event does every Redditor need to know about? There are so many to choose from. Anyone else remember that thread where people were talking about pooping and discovered there was a 5050 split of people that wiped their butt while seated, and another group that stood to do it? And neither group realized the other existed. The one where the guy kept forgetting stuff and finding random notes. Turns out he was suffering from carbon monoxide poisoning and was saved by Reddit, or SMTH like that. The most downvoted comment in Reddit history, which is at 668k. I love how even to this day, you can still downvote it. Just read this and added my downvote. We all have, it's the desire to belong, and also that comment was shite. Solidarity. Microtransactions, a game you've already paid for, are total bullshit. When a user named WaterGuy12 said he was going somewhere without internet for a few weeks and asked Reddit to tag him on funny Reddit posts so he could see the highlights from when he was gone. Basically every popular post had a comment along the line of a WaterGuy12 would love this. Haha, yes, that's me. Still the coolest thing that's ever happened to me. A WaterGuy12 would love this. That guy who tried heroin once and then basically got addicted and overdosed multiple times and ruined his life very fast. You spontaneous. Really glad I saw this. If I'm ever tempted to go down that route, I'm coming back here. The guy had zero judgment at all, but his story is still very powerful. Museumofreda is a great catalog of these. Time to waste, even more time than I thought I would be on this site. Then again, what else would you do on this site? A guy on Reddit says he got knocked out while at school or something, and while he was out, maybe about 5 minutes, he lived an entire life where he met someone and had kids. Then one night while putting his kids to bed, he was suddenly pulled back to reality and was super depressed about missing his family. I remember this. Last week I had a dream that felt so real. I was the same me, same parents, but I was married to someone else and had different kids. It felt so real. Then halfway through my dream a part of my brain said, wait, this isn't your family. Then I woke up, and thought everything was fine, but then was like, wait. I don't recognize this house. Turns out I was still dreaming. I finally woke up back in my own bed and was freaked out for a bit. It was eerie. This is not your beautiful house. This is not your beautiful wife. When we caught the Boston bombers, except we didn't. A little known tidbit. I doubt many people actually noticed. Back in the day, this would be about the time subreddits came about, there was a link at the bottom of the page to a webcam pointed at the fishbowl in the admin's office. This would be about the time subreddits came about, has the same energy as a great-great-grandfather describing when electricity came to his village. Edit, all the old Redditors gathered below. Mine is probably the one about the guy who threw a steak out a window. That was amazing. It's times like this you should fake a seizure. Lol. James Corden or Woody Harrelson AMA's Electronic Arts responding to criticism over Battlefront 2. The poop knife. My mom sent me a link to the poop knife as a product you can actually buy, and I had to fight so damn hard not to cackle like a witch while I was grocery shopping. She's not overly familiar with Reddit and yet she somehow found it anyway. God bless. Edit, link for the curious. It has its own website. Does anyone remember that legendary confession thread from 9 years ago or something? Hundreds of mind-boggling confessions. The only one I can remember is this woman who owned a cupcake bakery admitting that she just used grocery store cupcake mix and had no idea how to bake. Edit, https www.reddit.com AskReddit comments 0 wine or throwaway time. What's your secret thakult? Source share it media miosapit nam ios Teresa guy who sold his house but continued living in a bunker under it for 8 years. Like, come on, that's insane. Edit 2. Yes, I know, the cake woman is still updating. Edit 4. Thanks, assholes, for repeatedly reminding me that this is where the cum box comes from. Edit 5. Removed. Edit 3, which spoiled Parasite. No need for any more Parasite related comments, we know. Also, the original cake faking commenter has made an appearance in my thread here. Edit 6, okay Euratical sausage, this will be my last edit. Here's a wholesome one. On a stupid questions, someone with severe anxiety posted that they would like to try a Subway sandwich, so they asked how to order one. The top commenter gave them a step-by-step of every part of the process from standing in line to being offered a drink and cookie. Every single person was kind and encouraging. It was beautiful. Coincidentally, that comment is also why I tried Subway for the first time. I also deal with severe anxiety, and that comment is exactly what I needed, too. The time when Rick Astley got Rick-rolled. Ah yes. That one Redditor that saved a dude's life by telling him to check the co-monitor. You cackerlock. Also the one where a guy took a pregnancy test for shits and giggles and ended up being diagnosed with testicular cancer. The guy that died in the end but provided a tale about how he worked in a very specific industry, something like restoration work, and the manager was a total jerk to him. He walked off the job knowing that the whole thing couldn't be done properly and the manager ended up cutting corners, getting into a whole heap of fines, etc. All the guy wanted was an apology, but the manager obviously couldn't do it. Great saga. I remember seeing that on reddittor updates. Very sad reading that recently because his wife still posted stuff for a while afterwards talking about her grief. Reading this has reminded me I've been here for 10 years. I need to find a new website. FFS. Username checks out. The guy who pretended not to know what a potato was at dinner with his girlfriend's parents. Double Dick Dude was a wild ride for everyone. And a classic case of taking it too far. He could have enjoyed his niche internet fame, but he had to keep bragging, escalating his stories, and was eventually caught in a lie. He lost me as soon as he claimed he once had a girl riding each of his dicks while another couple banged above his face. Like, really dude? Edit. Turns out I forgot he also claimed that two dudes were ducking him in the ass at the same time too. The funniest, stupidest part was when he claimed that some minor unrelated surgery caused both dicks to become 10+ inches long. Swamps of Dagoba. You have been warned. What is this? https www.reddit.com Rutofteloop comments 1xp8c2 Swamps off Dagoba? Yut medium Android app source share. You have been warned twice. Enjoy. Holy ducking shit. This is awesome. Nobody should ever read that. Alright, you've convinced me. I'll go read it. Edit. Haha, wow, that's disgusting. Some of the main ones have already been mentioned, but never forget the guy who had to have his foot amputated, acquired his own foot meat from the doctors, invited his friends over and made literal foot tacos, and then did an AMA with proof. As a fellow amputee, I feel like I lost out on my one opportunity to eat ethical long pig. I donated my leg to a search and rescue program in Alaska. Dogs gotta learn somehow, right? There's a thing you wish you didn't know: you can donate your amputated limbs to search and rescue dog programs. That's actually something I enjoy knowing, and I will be doing that if I ever lose a limb. Thank you. It's a good, creative idea, emo. It technically is legal for them to give you the amputated limb, but the hospital had a policy against it, unless it was sent to a funeral home. I called a bunch of places, and tried to get a quote on embalming my leg, but it was still quite a chunk of change I most definitely did not have. The hospital planned on simply incinerating my leg, and I felt like that was one in waste. Then, I read an article about a dude that donated his leg, and contacted the program mentioned in it. I guess they use the amputated limb as long as they can, and then cremate everything before it's scattered near the Arctic Circle. For a while, every time my leg hurt, I said it must be the dog chewing it. You set foot on the Arctic Circle, few people can say that. You set foot on the Arctic Circle from the comfort of your own home. Now that's something you should use as a conversation starter. Arty sub guy. He ate 3 feet of a sub, and asked if he was the asshole. But he bought wings with him that everyone ate. And didn't he wait a while? Can't remember the user, but their comments would always turn into mankind jumping onto a table. The nightmare son who ended up destroying the house before he left, never to be heard of ever again. Edit. Thank you for my very first award. That one still haunts me. The time 14 years ago Greenpeace had a contest to name a whale. Redditors flooded the poll with Mr. Splashy Pants and Greenpeace went with it. I believe this is the Ogbody McBoatface, when an internet community hijacked a naming contest.